I have to be honest, my jaw is on the floor, and I am still trying to process the absolute madness of the theories circulating right now. The moment I saw the pieces starting to fall into place regarding baby Phoebe, Hudson, and Ethan, I knew something was wrong. But I never, in my wildest dreams, imagined that the rabbit hole would lead us straight back to Maxie Jones. I am sitting here, staring at my screen, feeling like my head is going to explode from the sheer emotional weight of what this could mean. We have been so focused on Ethan Lovett bleeding out in Ava Jerome's gallery, denying that he is Phoebe's biological father. We have been so focused on the mysterious arrival of this terrifying businessman named Hudson. But what if we have been looking in completely the wrong direction this entire time? What if Phoebe's storyline is actually intimately, inextricably tied to Max? I have to admit, the second this thought crossed my mind, that changed everything. I wasn't ready for that. I genuinely wasn't expecting that. The speculation is running rampant that Maxie is finally gearing up for a massive return to General Hospital, and her return is going to shatter the lives of everyone involved in this baby drama. Let's just lay it all out on the table because I am losing my mind over this. What if the baby that Brooklyn and Harrison Chase are currently raising, the baby they have opened their hearts to, isn't Delilah's daughter at all? What if Phoebe is actually Maxie's biological daughter? And what if the real daughter of Hudson and the late Delilah is currently being hidden out of town by Maxie and Spinelli? I keep thinking about the sheer emotional devastation this would cause, and it hits so incredibly hard because of the history these characters share. Let's take a trip down memory lane for a second. Have we forgotten the absolute trauma of the Peter August nightmare? Have we forgotten that Maxie was forced to hand her newborn daughter Louise over to Brooklyn Quartermain to protect her from a psychotic, abusive father? Brooklyn named that baby Bailey Lois and raised her, loved her, and protected her with her life until it was safe for Maxie to take her back. We all watched that storyline unfold, and it tore our hearts into a million pieces. If you ask me, the writers are setting us up for the most painful, heartbreaking parallel in the history of this show. History is repeating itself, guys, but this time, the stakes feel even more twisted and convoluted. I understand why some people might immediately point out the glaring plot holes in this theory. I hear you screaming at the screen right now. But the timeline doesn't make sense. Yes, the window of time when Maxie and Spinelli left town was incredibly short. Yes, Maxie supposedly just woke up from a deep, debilitating coma. How on earth could she have been pregnant, had a baby, and orchestrated a massive, secret baby swap with her late best friend Delilah while supposedly lying in a hospital bed? On paper, it sounds impossible. But let's be real for a second. This is Port Charles. We have watched soap opera rapid aging syndrome, or SORAS, change the fabric of reality right before our eyes. We watched Scout turn from a little girl into a teenager overnight. We watched Spencer Cassadine grow up in the blink of an eye. If the writers want to rewrite the timeline, they will absolutely do it without blinking. Maybe it's just me, but it is not hard at all to imagine a scenario where Maxie's coma was nothing more than a brilliant, desperate charade. Think about it. Spinelli is a tech genius. He could easily hack into the hospital's mainframe, falsify medical records, and make it look like Maxie was in a deep coma when, in reality, she woke up a long time ago. What if, every time the hospital room was empty, every time there were no visitors, Maxie and Spinelli were secretly slipping out of town? What if they left Port Charles over a year ago to deal with this nightmare? It makes the story so much more compelling and tragically beautiful. Let's talk about Delilah for a second. We don't know much about her, but what if she was Maxie's secret best friend during her time away? Imagine Maxie and Delilah, both pregnant at the exact same time, bonding over their impending motherhood. But Delilah's situation was a living nightmare. The rumors are that Hudson is not just a ruthless businessman, but an abusive, violent monster. I cannot even stomach the thought of Hudson laying a hand on Delilah, beating her relentlessly, even while she was carrying his unborn child. It makes my blood run cold just thinking about it. A mother will do absolutely anything to protect her child from a monster like that. And who better to understand the desperate need to hide a baby from a psychotic father than Maxie Jones? I love this storyline because it brings Maxie back into the fold with a narrative that honors her past trauma and showcases her incredible strength. It makes perfect sense that Maxie would look at a terrified, abused Delilah and say, I will help you. I will save your baby. But something still bothers me deeply about the mechanics of all this. A baby swap, again, if Maxie and Delilah swap their babies to throw Hudson off the scent, that means the baby Hudson is currently hunting the baby he thinks is his, is actually Maxie and Spinelli's child. And the baby Maxie and Spinelli are hiding out of town is the real daughter of Hudson and Delilah. It is a brilliant decoy, a masterclass in misdirection. And this brings me to Ethan Lovett. I have been racking my brain trying to figure out why Ethan would take a bullet to the butt to protect Ava Jerome, yet vehemently deny being Phoebe's father while bleeding out on the gallery floor. It didn't add up until now. Ethan isn't the deadbeat dad we might have suspected he was. Ethan is the silent protector. I can't help feeling that Ethan was secretly working with Delilah and Maxie this entire time. He helped Delilah cover up Phoebe's true identity. He laid the false trails. He took the heat to ensure that Hudson would never find the real baby. It completely redeems Ethan in my eyes. He isn't running from responsibility. He is running interference against a monster. I understand why Maxie, Spinelli, Delilah, and Ethan would go to these extreme illegal lengths if Hudson is truly as dangerous as he's. When a child's life is on the line, you don't play by the rules. I get it. I really do. I still think that was a colossal mistake to drag Brooklyn and Harrison Chase into this without telling them the truth, though. Maybe I'm being unfair, but my heart is just breaking for Chase and Brooklyn. They have been through so much. Brooklyn is currently drowning in her own guilt, having framed Willow Kane for the hit and run that she actually committed. Her marriage to Chase is hanging by a thread as Chase desperately tries to clear Willow's name, completely unaware that his own wife is the culprit. Brooklyn is terrified of losing her husband, and now she is on the verge of losing her baby, too. Part of me wants to believe that Brooklyn and Chase will somehow come out of this unscathed. I want to believe that they will get to keep the family they are building. Another part of me thinks that is just naive, wishful thinking. This is General Hospital. Happiness is just the calm before the storm. I honestly can't decide if I am thrilled about Maxie's potential return or absolutely terrified of the emotional destruction she is going to bring with her. Just picture it. Picture the moment the doors to the Quartermain Mansion or the Metro Court fly open, and there stand Maxie and Spinelli. They aren't alone. They are holding a baby Hudson and Delilah's real baby. And they are looking right at Brooklyn and Chase, who are holding Phoebe. The realization that is going to wash over Brooklyn's face when she understands that history has repeated itself, that she has once again fallen in love with a baby that does not belong to her, is going to be gut-wrenching. Maxie is going to have to look her friend in the eye and say, I'm sorry, Brooklyn, but that's my daughter. I need my baby back. I am tearing up just visualizing this scene in my head. The raw, unfiltered pain of a mother having to reclaim her child from the woman who loved her. It is going to be Emmy-winning television, but it is going to hurt us so much to watch. And what about Hudson? When Hudson realizes he has been played, that the baby he has been hunting isn't even his blood, all hell is going to break loose. Ethan is already on the run, fleeing from his past, because Hudson has arrived in Port Charles. Ava Jerome is snooping around, demanding DNA tests, and trying to uncover the truth about Phoebe's paternity. Ava is playing with fire, and she has no idea that she is about to detonate a bomb that will destroy multiple families. If Hudson finds out that Maxie and Spinelli have his biological child, their lives are in immediate lethal danger. I keep going back and forth on this. I love that Maxie is getting a storyline with this much depth and historical resonance, but I absolutely loathe what this is going to do to Harrison Chase. Chase is such a good, pure-hearted guy. He just wants to be a good cop, a good husband, and a good father. He is already dealing with the betrayal of Brooklyn framing Willow. When he finds out that the baby he has been raising isn't even the baby they thought it was, and that they have to give her back to Maxie, it might actually break him. It might be the final straw that shatters their marriage completely. Am I the only one feeling this way? Am I the only one who is simultaneously on the edge of my seat with excitement and dreading the absolute heartbreak that is barreling toward us? Guys, what do you think? Do you believe Maxie faked her coma to pull off the ultimate baby swap to protect her friend? Do you think Ethan is the secret hero in all of this? And how on earth do you think Brooklyn and Chase are going to survive losing another child? Please tell me I'm not crazy for thinking this is exactly where the writers are taking us. Let me know your thoughts, because I am going to be obsessing over this until the truth finally comes out.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.